Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Hey, this is Juanita. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this video. Please share, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you catch me on all my videos. But most of all, thank you for joining me today. Today, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be redoing the live roof of my chicken coop. Right now, it is just compact with succulents, overgrown, and it's hard as a rock, and it just desperately needs to be redone. So if you have a chicken coop and want to insulate it, this is a great idea. If you have a dog house, want to decorate it and have a little garden on top of it, it'd be a great way to enjoy a dog house and not just have a dog house in your backyard, but enjoy a piece of gardening there. If you have a pergola, you can do a live roof, especially if it's against your home like what we have. Because it would just add some beauty when you look out the window. It is good for so many reasons. The materials that we used was a black thick rubber swimming pool liner. It works really, really great. It's been holding up great, even with snow, ice, you name it. It's withstand that, and it's still pretty good as far as I can tell. Now, one thing that you want to do is make sure that your structure is sturdy, because you will be walking on top of it. I don't have a big amount of space here, so I know, and I don't weigh a whole lot. I can get up there with no problem, and it's okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and let the chickens out because they're dying to get out of here, and we'll go from there. Come on, girls. Hi, Apple. Come here, sweetie. Come here, sweetie. This gal here has a degenerate bone loss, and so she deals with a lot of inflammation, and she's really stumbling lately. Now, we do give her antibiotics, and I do put some salve on her to help her from the inflammation. So right now we can't eat her eggs because she's taking some antibiotics. So that's a little bit of a waste, but it's a sacrifice that we're willing to make to keep her around. But she's still doing good. We still love her. This is Apple. You want to say hi, Apple? Anyway, I just wanted to throw her in because these are our pets, and we love them, and we care for them. So that is one good reason to do a live roof. And, you know, you just want to protect all your pets over the winter months and even in the summer, because this even insulates in the summer. So with that said, and with the chickens out, I'm going to bring you inside. So when you walk into the chicken coop, right here, this major part right here is primarily where the roof is. Then on this side, this is where the peak is right along here. It's where I'm going to be adding most of the dirt, where I'm going to mount it up. And so right over in this corner is where I'm going to be putting the prickly pear. The other thing is that, as you can see, there's ventilation holes all along the top. There's also ventilation, but at the very, very top up there, you'll see a line of venting holes. So they get ventilation inside their nesting coop. So the reason why I'm pointing out all this ventilation back here is because there's a lot of controversy about whether you should insulate your chicken coop or not, whether you should put a live roof of your chicken coop to help insulate your chicken coop or not. And the reason for that is, the claim is that the chicken manure or chicken poop gets really hot and it puts out gases, and it's just not healthy for the chicken. Well, we clean out our chicken coop, especially in here into their resting coop. We clean it out once a week. My husband does it religiously once a week, so that problem isn't an issue with us. We're more concerned with basically making sure that our chickens aren't going to be freezing when it ices out here, or the temperatures drop to really low temperatures. And they have actually been really cold nights, and we're going to make sure that they're not going to freeze or be uncomfortable. And that's the biggest reason why I do a live roof. It doesn't leak through, and the chickens are safe, they're warm. So yeah, anyway, I hope that doesn't deter you from doing a live roof on your chicken coop. I think it adds a lot of beauty to your yard. It does help out the chickens, and that's my opinion. So now I'll take you this direction up, and just recently, and I did it off film, I created this little walkway here. This way I had a path to go up. So now that I have you up here, you can see that there is a slight downgrade, and you can also see the peak of the roof right along where the rooster is, where I showed you inside the chicken coop right there, and that is the heart of the most structured part, and that's where I'm going to be building it up. Now I added these stones here for two reasons. For one, it allowed me to add more dirt, and two, it holds as a barrier so that the dirt doesn't just slide down if we had a really downpour. Now, the water will drain through the soil, and it'll still seep down below these stones and into this gutter here. In the last couple of days, it actually rained, so the soil here, as you can see right here, it's really pretty moist. It's not like soaking wet, but it's moist. So therefore, it allowed a lot of the succulents that I had here to pop out. It doesn't take much for that to happen. And the succulents that I added here were actually some stone crop sedums. And what I did wrong with this is that I added a lot of sedums here. And so it rooted and became one big root ball. So you never want to overcrowd your succulents when you are planting a live roof, because you want to allow that room, just the same way that if you're planting in a container, you want to allow the plants to grow and the roots to expand and have that room to do that. Otherwise, they're going to just start choking each other to death. So you really want to make sure that you put them a few inches apart, because you don't want to do this every year. This roof right here has been here for 9 years, and it's worked really well. Now, what I like about live roofs is that it doesn't only insulate for the winter, but it also insulates the chicken coop over the hot summer months. And that's what I like about it. This area right here for the chicken coop is pretty protected, but adding a live roof to it just takes it to that next level. So it's really a nice idea to do that. And all you're going to put up there is succulents anyway, so you don't have to maintain it very much, because succulents don't require a whole lot of water. They require a lot of sun, but they don't require a whole lot of water. As always, I don't always have a specific plan. I do have a vision of what I want it to look like, and so that's what I'm going to do. Now I will be putting some rocks up here. The rocks that I'm going to be putting here are going to be very lightweight, called feather rock. Now I will be taking out this. I will take out the rooster, however I'll put her back. So I'm hoping that I have enough room to do everything that I need. I'm going to be adding some weight kind of right at the peak of this and build it up, and then kind of bring it down in a slope on both sides, and then just start adding my succulents so that you can see what it looks like before. Let's get started. When you're removing all this stuff off of it, or whatever it is that you're going to move off, don't use any type of tools, because you don't want to disturb the liner at all. And you do want to examine that. So that's one of the things that I'm going to also be doing. I'm going to wear gloves, because this stuff can be pretty rough on your hands. Okay, so some of these succulents I'm going to be using. So I'm going to put them aside, but for the most part I'm going to get rid of a lot of this. Got a lot of beautiful succulents, so I don't have to worry about this old stuff. I can always use this stuff somewhere else in the yard. Now the nice thing about succulents is that they will live under any kind of dirt condition. So a lot of this can be broken down and it'll be okay, moth and all. So when you're working on your rooftop, make sure you have tennis shoes, nothing with spikes or nothing that can tear the liner. Boat shoes would be really, really great, like Vans if you're not familiar with the term boat shoes. Now see this dirt right here? See right here, all this new growth right here? All this is actually succulents coming out. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Start new. And as you can see, that's the depth of my dirt right there. Not very much. Probably 1 inch to 2 inches at max. So where I want to check to make sure there's no rips especially is right up here. I want to make sure that it's still in good condition. Does appear to be. This is the most critical part because it's where the peak is. Have an acorn. Got squirrels digging in here. But as you can see from this side, see how shallow that is? Now it is about 1 inch deep. It's just that this is pretty taut, but it's not very much. So when I put the ground, it'll have to go on an incline. So because from this peak over, it's not much space, probably about 2 feet, I'm going to start with this area first, giving it new ground and work my way back. So yeah, all this looks really good. So even after 9 years, this is still standing really, really well. I'm really happy about that. So can you see the depth of that stone? That's how high I can bring it up. Tapering on each side. And when you're adding dirt up here, you don't want to stress the structure too much, so eliminate as much walking as you can. So the one thing I want to do with this is kind of break it a little bit apart because it's root bound, and so just kind of loosen it up a little bit. Nice thing about succulents, they will adhere to anything, so you can just toss them on there. So here's a mess I created. I will be using the succulents somewhere else. This is all trash. And it is really late, but I thought I'd show this to you so you can see what it looks like. And as you can see, I built it up higher over in the center part, right where that crown is. I added a lot of the stone crop right back there on that 2 feet area because the butterfly tree over here pretty much shades that or covers most of it. You can't see it too much. It's basically over in this area right here that you can see during the day from the pergola. Now the dusty miller over here may not survive. Everything else is a medium. It's all going to do really well. All these are really slow growers. Nevertheless, I did allow a lot of space in between just so that I had the room. A lot of these are going to cascade over, also shoot out some flowers just like this one right here. Then over here I have some chocolate prints. Over here I've got this, it's called a chocolate ball sedum. Isn't that beautiful? It really kind of gets camouflaged because of the dark dirt, but that's okay because it's got this red in it and it's just gorgeous. It actually really reminds me of my euphorbia that I did on my winter container. This Hens and Chickens has some red in it, as well as these ones. These ones are absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this ones here. Look at that. And I kind of sprinkled them. I broke them apart and sprinkled them around. Look at these black princes here. Aren't they beautiful? And then just these little pops of red here and there. That has a little bit of pinks to red. Like this two right here are Sjcursions. And this is a Sjcursion here. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Of course, the oregano hoplite has a lot of pink to it. So that's going to add to some color up here. Oh, now you can see what this little one looks like. This ruby. Isn't that cute? And now this will spread and it'll get fairly big. But yeah, it's just a great array of colors. I've got areas that I can step through. Look at how beautiful that looks. Try to give you a different perspective without falling or rolling down this hill. So as you can see right here, I left it completely empty. And this part right here is where I'm going to be putting just a very small garden container right here. And that I'll build next spring, and I will bring you to doing that next spring. But for now, I'm leaving it empty. But I've got a lot of beautiful, beautiful succulents, as you can see. And Now there is some slumping because I've been walking up there, so that's going to have some little peaks and valleys as I walk up there and check things out. Especially because I have squirrels going up there and digging my plants out, and I have to keep an eye on that. So let's take you up there. Now a lot of these will cascade, even the stone crops over here. There's a variation of stone crop. They're just variegated and just have these beautiful pinks and reds in them. I've got some black prince here. I've got some Jscursions all along here. I've got the razzle dazzle berry over here. I've got the dusty miller here, the prickly pear over there. Again, the rocks that you see are all called feather rock, and they are super light. They are probably 3 times lighter than lava rock. I was going to initially do lava rock up here because I thought it was very light, but these feather rocks are like super light, and they were perfect for up here. Now the clouds keep moving, so hopefully this works out for me. But again, there's creeping thyme all along here. My Dysandra. These are this one right here, along with these ones over here, and many of them. They're actually stone crops as well. They're just a different type of stone crop. But isn't this beautiful? This is gorgeous. Look at the array of colors and just the array of different textures. And I mean, this watch chain, isn't that beautiful? It actually has, and I can't probably focus it really well, but it has a little bit of red in the tips. The limbs on them have this like bronze, reddish, brown. It just remind me of a pine cone. And they're just beautiful. And then I've got some black prints and some Jscursions. Now, my prickly pear gets a little camouflaged because of the rose bush behind it, but it's still going to be beautiful. And now that it's in a nice pot and up here, it's just going to do beautifully. It's going to be happy. It already looks happy. Now I added a black container to that because just didn't want it to pop out as much. I wanted it to be kind of in the foreground and just really just have that cactus be the most focal point. Funny story, squirrel tried to dig its nut in there and got pricked, so he took off running. So hopefully that taught him a lesson. And let me step up here. See that desert jewel? This will spread out and open up during the day, and then it goes to sleep at night. This is my dusty miller, and then the dazzle berry. Ruby jewel over here. These ones are going to get fairly large as well. They spread out pretty good. They have reds to yellows, flowers in them. I don't know if you have to actually deadhead these or not, but I'm not going to bother with that. In this area right here, all I did was just add some more stone crop, sedums, and I did add a variety of stone crop over here just for a break, but for the most part, this gets shaded because of the tree over here. So I feel like this one just already has grown. Isn't that beautiful? I added a hop-like oregano over here. Now this will get big. I thought I'd do something different, see if that would work well up here. But look at all these beautiful shades of green and shades of pinks and reds, and even the creeping thyme has different shades in them. So yeah. that's going to do it for me. I really hope that you enjoy the outcome as much as I do. I just think it's just so much more prettier. It's vibrant. It's got an array of colors like it didn't have before. And I am so excited to see what it looks like next summer. Again, I added some Dysandra here. I added some creeping thyme all along the edges so that it cascades over, adds some more beauty in the forefront. I love that I added a lot of hens and chickens this year, and just the array of different types of variegated colors as far as the stone crop goes. And I am so excited to see that Ruby Jewel just burst out and become beautiful with a lot of different yellows and pinks and red daisies up there. I mean, just the array of color that's going to be up there alone is going to be beautiful. I can see it from my small pergola. I can see it from my eating area, and I just absolutely love it. It looks 10 times, if not 100 times better than it did before. My chickens are going to be well insulated over the winter. I'm happy about that. Next year, if we get this high record temperatures again, they're going to stay nice and cool in their coop. And that excites me as well. But I'm glad it's done. I always think in my head that it's going to be a very small project. Turns out to be a big project. But nevertheless, it's done, and I'm happy and I'm excited that it is finally completed. I hope that you are happy with the end results. But more importantly, thank you for joining me again. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you catch me on all my videos. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye for now.